I've been a physical therapist for a really long time, back to the time when we could actually keep somebody on therapy until they were independent again and they could go home and be safe. It's not like that anymore. Now families have to step in and figure out a way to provide 24-hour care if that's what's recommended. Insurance companies don't care. They make a decision and then the families are left to figure it out. So over the years, I've gone from being a physical therapist who mostly works on physically helping somebody to regain their independence to actually looking more at the whole situation, the whole family situation, family dynamics, relationships, and the physical things. And what I've realized as these things have changed is that one of the hardest things in being a caregiver for an aging parent is the relationship itself. It's what often leads to overwhelm. And the steps to overcome overwhelm start with clarity, so understanding the relationship. That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. I'm Tammy Provenzel. I'm a physical therapist and a life coach for caregivers. I make videos like this because I feel like caregiving has changed so much, even in a decade, and there are very little resources, especially for the amount of caregivers every single day who are suddenly becoming caregivers. So I make these videos to hopefully help people. So when we think about the relationship with our parent, it's usually the longest relationship we've ever had. And because of that, because it starts when we're younger, when we're developing our sense of self, our parents, sometimes purposely, other times it's our perception as a kid, but our parents are the blueprint for what our self-identity becomes. They affect how we see ourselves, they affect how we see the world, how we see others in the world, they affect the beliefs we have about ourselves, about others, about the world. And for a lot of us, we then, as we've gotten older, have gone to therapy or gotten some other kind of help because some of these beliefs weren't necessarily helpful or weren't necessarily healthy for us, or they held us back in some way. So then all of a sudden we become a caregiver to our parent, to the place where our identity first started being formed. And it's no wonder that some of the frustrations, the emotions that come up as we're caregiving come up. Think of those movies that you see where the adult goes back to their childhood home for the holidays and they turn into that teenager in their emotions, in their actions, in their feelings. And so it makes sense that as we go back and we are in that environment again, a lot of stuff comes up. So if clarity is one of the first steps in overcoming overwhelm, then we have to be clear about the relationship. We have to be clear about what we're feeling. What happens a lot of times is that as caregivers, we're doing the things that we're doing the physical things, we're doing the planning, the scheduling. And while we're doing these things, these emotions are coming up like resentment or frustration or inadequacy. And it's hard to decipher whether those are emotions related to what we're doing now or whether they're emotions related to way back. So here's 3 questions you can ask yourself in the moment as you notice that you're having an emotional reaction. The first one is to ask yourself, what am I feeling? And does this have to do with what's going on right now? Or does it have to do with something from a long time ago that I'm holding on to or that's coming back up? The second question is, what does my parent need right now? So if we're getting ready to do something for our parent, they ask us to do something, can we look at the situation now and see what our parent needs right now without adding in any other emotions from the past? And then the third question is, how do I want our relationship to be now, regardless of how it was in the past? Do I want to forgive my parent? Do I want to be a compassionate caregiver to them? That helps us to make an intention. And once we make an intention, it's easier to follow through with that in moments that we might feel emotions. Hopefully today's video was helpful. In all the years I've been doing what I do, and then more recently in the last 5 years, caring for an uncle and now caring for my mom, the relationship part brings up so much emotional stuff. And to me, the emotional stuff is the hardest. So hopefully this was helpful. Please like, share, and in the comment section below, let me know what you think.